Hello and welcome to session 1 for November of Academy of the Blade, which is a Hearts of Wulin hack. It's one of the stretch goals. It is very much inspired by all of the various anime, some strange school, strange academy stories, web comics like Gunner Creek Court, and most especially Revolutionary Girl Utena, which is sort of the heart and soul of what this is. This is based on Hearts of Wulin, which is a game that I co-designed, and you're going to see us talk about things from that. My name is Lowell, pronouns he, him, and this is part of the Gauntlet gaming calendar. The Gauntlet is an online gaming club, online gaming community. You can find out more about that at gauntlet-rpg.com. We have a lot of games that are on the calendar, so you should check that out. If you're looking for other videos of games you're like, I wonder what this game's like, we have a lot of them. We have a lot of games in our collection, so check out our YouTube page. And if it's a story or indie gamey thing, there's a pretty decent chance we might have somebody running it so you can see how it plays. So the way this is going to work today is I'm going to start with a sort of a setup and introduction. We're going to do character creation, go to the entanglements after character creation, take a break, and then see how we feel about time of playing and getting initial scenes started. Just so everyone knows, let me go through our cat. So you are students in a strange academy. Where this academy lies, it's in a city. We're probably Japan or somewhere in the Pacific, but you all have come here. You've been chosen to come to this academy. The wealthy send their kids here. Others get scholarships and arrive at this place. It is academy where there are dorms, but then also the wealthy kids get to have their own private rooms. And there's generally a feeling that rich kids can spend money to give themselves privileges here. So there's a little bit of a class distinction that goes on in this school. There is a mysterious set of duels that are happening behind the scenes that the students are drawn into. They fight and duel in these, and what it's about, at least for our PCs, is uncertain at the start. We'll figure out where they are in that, if they're just getting drawn into it, or if they've been involved with it. We will figure that out. That's all sort of the mysterious stuff, but it's also all about cliques and clubs and putting on a school play and going to the dance and all of those things as well. All of that comes into play. In terms of approach, this game is very much built on setting up some inciting incidents and then playing out to match the entanglements that are set up in the game. Entanglements being a triangle. You have a relationship with one person that's complicated by a second person. And having two of those, that will create enough drama to drive through many sessions of things. Our tone is sort of weird anime melodrama. Revolutionary Girl Utena in the anime swings wildly between super creepy to heartbreak to cows. So it goes quite a range, and so we will try to accommodate all of those things. Within that, we are going to be using the classic layered set of safety tools that begins with this kind of discussion about, so people know what page we're on, but then that's complemented by our lines and veils. And we have on our character keeper tab, we have a set of lines, veils, then we also have ask first, and then not for my PC. So we have this is something that Jamie has been spearheading, kind of expanding how we do lines and veils. So I wanted to bring this and try this out a little bit more here. So during the character creation process, you can add in, check things on there. And then once we sort of get past character creation, we get to play, we'll stop and we'll check in on those lines and veils. We also are using the X card. Everyone here has played with me before, so you're familiar with how we use that, this or saying. And again, if something passes you by and later on you're uncomfortable with it, it is absolutely legit to X card that. I do want to call out one thing, because of course this is a teens game. There'll be teen romance and all of that stuff, and teen smooches and stuff. There will be adults present. We'll decide how prominent they are. And while teens might have crushes on adults, there are no adult teen actual interaction romances, things like that. So just want to call that out. So with all of that in mind, all of those things in mind, as well as open door, as if you need to step away, before the game began, I sent an email to ask people what playbook and role they might be thinking about. And some people have narrowed it down to one or two. Some people have not narrowed it down that far. Jamie, I think you had it narrowed down to two choices, right?
Right. The beast or the transfer student. I'm kind of hankering for the beast, but Daryl, I know that you were looking at that one. Like, how do you feel about it though?
Yeah, so I guess for me, the ones that I was looking at were, as you said, the Beast, the Faust, which is from the Club Ace, or the Game Breaker from the Dropout, or I don't think I really want to do the Mundane Transfer Student anymore. So let's see, the Faust. I'm kind of leaning more towards either the Seeker or the Faust. So I think that's fine if you want to take the Beast.
Sure. Okay, yeah, I'll take the beast.
Okay.
I apologize in advance for how cutely obnoxious Takahiro is going to be.
Okay. And so you're leaning towards the Seeker or the Faust is what you're looking at, Daryl?
Yes.
Okay. Sherry?
No idea. I feel like I could fit in anywhere. I'm looking for everyone else to go with their heart's desire, and then I will. I think that I will fit in where that leaves me.
So, Patrick, at least a couple of choices have been eliminated for you. Do you know what maybe one or two things you would like?
Well, from the ones I'd looked at to start with, still have the Flirt, the Game Breaker, and the Seeker were the sort of three I was looking at.
Oh.
I am happy to let other people make their choices first, and I'll pick up what's left.
Game Breaker sounds pretty cool.
So let's come back to Daryl. Daryl, if you had to choose between the Seeker and the Faust, those two that you mentioned, which would you go with?
Let me reread them real quick.
Sure, absolutely.
I think I really want the Faust, which would be the Club Ace.
Okay. Faust, Club Ace. So, Patrick.
No, that didn't buy me nearly enough time.
Sherry, I come back to you.
Let's see here. Oof. Now, I almost have to go student council.
Oh yeah, let's do it. Oh shoot, sorry, I thought I was behind the mute. I was so excited.
So it's gonna be between. Oh my God, they're all so good. I love the drowning sense of the goody two shoes, but the class president is fun too. Teacher's pet, look at that. I don't know. How about I got it down to student council rep?
Okay, so you're to be the student council rep, and we'll let you choose your role here in a bit. Patrick, does that help narrow things down for you?
I think Jammy and the Game Breaker just seems. I do want to burn everything down.
Okay.
It does sound great.
Let's do it. Yes.
All right. So I'm going to let you all get started on that. We have the character creation tab, walks through the process of things you're going to set, your look, your weapon, your elements, and you're going to choose the roll move and then 2 playbook moves. Once we get all of that in play, then we're going to do introductions, and then we will look at entanglements. So I'm going to sit here awkwardly. give you a couple more minutes to pick stats and things, and then I will move left to right across the character keeper. I was stunned when I reread the manga to find that Nanami is not in the manga. It
I
it blew my
know.
mind. I
She's
like
so essential.
I I was like, okay, when does Nanami come in? And there's like, she's not in this. They just that whole thing is in from the anime. Wild.
Yeah, yeah. And the whole Black Rose arc. So it's like
Is one secondary issue.
tiny, tiny. Yeah, and it's my favorite arc. So
Mine
gosh.
too. She gets shafted even worse in the movie, where she's like kind of present, but
Yeah.
is just a cow the entire
Yeah.
time.
It's true. It's true. I was about to say Nanami wasn't the cow, right?
Yeah. All right, Sherry, I'm going to give you another minute here.
Do we have to pick names? I don't have a name. Everyone has names. This is so unfair.
I don't have a name. It's okay. It's all horrible. Names are the worst.
Yeah, I'm cheating because I'm just stealing my previous character's name. I only
Sure.
had to think one time.
I'm also low-key cheating because I just kind of tried to recreate one of my favorite characters. So
I think it's absolutely fair. For Alan's Fate of Cthulhu game, I actually stole one of Sherry's characters and ran that, and it was the best. The best.
I've been watching through the second half of Supernatural, the TV show. So for the GCOG, I just found myself like I kept making Supernatural characters to play.
Nice, nice.
It's like, well, this is in my brain. That's easy.
Yeah, Castiel is so great.
We started watching a new wuxia drama last night called Ancient Detective, and it is great. It is really good.
Ooh, is that the one Maria's been recommending? I'm trying to remember.
I don't remember. I don't know. It's good. I like it because, well, everyone's beautiful, of course, but rather than being hour-long episodes, they're more like 40-45-minute episodes. So they're a little bit easier to
Right.
grok.
Yeah, those extra 50 minutes really make a difference.
Yeah. Okay, Sherry,
Dun dun dun.
you are muted.
Why are you so unkind to me? Okay.
So, Sherry,
I didn't pick my stats. Okay, I'm
okay,
on it.
I'm going
I'll
to give
get
you
those.
one more minute here.
I gotta see what other people have chosen. Oh, let's see here. Oh, well then, Earth it is. And then, I want to be all about control. So, 1. All right, all set. I
So
know everything I need to know.
Okay, so in that case, Sherry,
Yes.
tell us about your character.
Okay, her name is Scarlett Elbescu. She's vaguely European. How shall we say? Blonder than blonde. And dressed. How should we say? Oh, it must be couture, because because no one else wears the uniform all the time, right? So yeah. So her suit is crowns, 2 crowns. I don't know. Did you have the pictures somewhere that you were keeping?
What do you mean?
For the cards.
Oh, for the cards, you've got there. We've also got the images tab if you want to put them there as
Okay,
as
awesome.
well.
I will. Okay, so yeah, 2 of crowns. I took earth at 2, metal and wood at 1, fire is -1, and that leaves water at 0.
And so you are the class president.
Yes.
So clearly you've been here for a while, and were able to wangle your way into being class president.
Well, are we freshmen?
It's up to you how we want to decide
Because if
that.
it's class, it might be by like the year that you're in, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm expecting. Yeah.
Right, exactly. So I would assume that actually she hasn't been here any longer than the rest of the class. It was just that of the class, she presented herself as the clear, sensible leader and got voted in. That's
So what do you think the relationship is between the class president and the student council and the shadow student council?
I think that it is, how should we say? It seems very cordial between the student council, and the shadow student council is merely a rumor at this point.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
People talk about it, but no one knows. I mean, maybe it's just something people make up to make themselves feel good.
Right. And I pretend like I know. I nod sagely on occasion.
So tell us about what the class president's role move is, and then what move or moves you've chosen.
Okay, so the role move of the class president is there's nothing you want more than to be on top. You present an outward mask of perfection to the world, but every act and word is completely calculated to maintain your reputation as a model student. Styling yourself as a benevolent tyrant, you work to maintain the admiration of the student body. Digital NPCs are always susceptible to your use of hearts and minds. And then I also took the little magistrate. It's when I give NPCs an order based on authority they respect, roll. On a hit, they choose 1, obey, step aside, muster a weak assault, or freeze. On a 10 plus, pick 1 option. They may not choose and take +1 forward against them. On a miss, choose mark an element or have someone important regard this as overstepping your place. And then I also took top student, which is while you have your style element marked, you may use another element for martial actions. I wanted something that was sort of, how do you say, visibly a sign of her superiority in some ways, if that makes sense.
And do you think that you were sent here by your family, or did you receive a mysterious invitation?
Her family is gone. Uh, so she was sent here by what she assumes is the trust for her family.
Are
You know,
you,
she classically lives in one of those empty mansions with servants that see that there are needs but are not really particularly present.
so you are you have no siblings then?
I have no siblings.
No siblings, but you do have money to kind of spread around to get yourself a little bit of privilege here.
I have an allowance.
Did you come in wanting to be class president?
I would say no, but when she got here, there are all these people, and she's been alone for so long that she liked having their eyes on her. She liked having people around her. How's that?
That sounds good. Okay, I think that gives us enough to work with for the intro. We'll come back around to look at those entanglements. Let us come to Takahiro. We go from one side of the coin to the other here.
Right, a completely opposite side of the coin. Yeah, so I'm playing Takahiro Santos, who uses he, they pronouns. Takahiro's suit and card, the suit is snakes, and the card specifically is the Herald of Snakes, or the Princess of Snakes. And Takahiro looks like they have burning eyes, chiseled features. They kind of look like your idea of a high school kid gangster, basically. Their uniform does not follow what is the code. I'm pretty sure we have very, very fancy uniforms, and Takahiro never wears them. He wears like purely the delinquent black, huge elephant pants kind of uniform, even when it's not winter. And aside from that, they have a huge metal bat that has the word boyfriend spray painted on the side. Everyone knows that Takahiro doesn't need anybody. He just has his bat, and that's good enough for him. And so, aside from that, for the stats, for the story. So Takahiro was once dating a student council member in secret. I think I'll work out with Sherry what position that is in a bit. But things went bad, really, really bad. So Takahiro continues to pine for Brandon and is determined to win the duels to change someone's heart, but he's not sure exactly what that means yet. And as for stats, I had to give him fire. That sounds the most appropriate as his main elements, and their weapon is a metal bat. They have a +1 in earth and a +1 in water, but metal and wood is not something that they embody very well. And in terms of moves, I chose. So I forgot to mention I'm playing the delinquent, the beast. So as the beast, the other students at the academy have heard rumors that you're not quite human, that you'll duel people for looking at you wrong, that you once bit off someone's ear just because. They fall silent when you walk in a room and flee the area when you bare your teeth. As a cost for moves, duel, overcome, and conflict, you may choose frighten a friend. You create fear and doubt in someone you like. And the second move I chose is it's not like I like you or anything. When you behave in an aggressive or aggravating way towards the object of your affections, roll on a hit, they recognize that your rudeness is the clumsy language of your heart, not a deliberate offense. On a 10+, they see past your facade and convince another PC to believe in you. On a 7 to 9, they suspect your more tender feelings, but on a miss, choose they flee away in tears or someone else publicly condemns you. So I haven't chosen the second move yet because I'm not sure which direction we're going, but I think that's it.
So Brandon we now have a name for one of the student council members. Does that seem what we're saying there?
Yeah.
Okay. So older. Why do you think how did that end?
Yeah, I think Takahiro, Brandon wasn't doing well in a duel, and Takahiro intervened, which is against the rules. It's and it showed in front of everybody that Brandon was too weak in order to continue the duel. So it was just too much of an embarrassment.
Do you think that was like the first time you'd seen these duels?
Ooh, yeah, probably because they were gonna hurt my boyfriend. So
Exactly. Exactly.
yeah.
So now, do you consistently flaunt the dress code, or do you wear like just like enough of a little piece to stay within, or are you constantly being berated by the teachers?
I think I'm constantly berated. I think I have one of those. Um, what do they call those? Like in Utena, the little shoulder thingies.
The
I forgot.
epaulets?
Epileps. There you go. I think maybe he puts them on once in a while, and then he'll just tear them off with his teeth
Yeah.
when nobody's looking. But yeah, there's definitely a teacher who's not happy with me.
And do you belong to any clubs, or clubs dumb?
Ooh, I think every time I get into a club, uh, it just goes badly. Like it just devolves. So I think I've gone through all the sports clubs,
Okay.
and it's never gone well.
So probably right now they've assigned you like to the literature club or something.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And there's this one girl who's like absolutely terrified of me, who I try to be nice to, but it's not going well.
Oh, excellent. All right, we'll come back to you to look at uh, the entanglements here in just a little bit.
Yeah.
Let us come to Cassian.
Yes, so I am playing Cassian Burncastle, who is the Club Ace playbook. They have the Faust name, and also, since they're the Club Ace, they are actually the president of the literature club. So,
Okay.
hi, Takahiro. Yeah, okay.
Hello.
So Cassian Burncastle has pronouns he, him. His suit is the suit of scythes, and his card is the ace of scythes. His look is frills and lace, a severe princess cut, androgynous features, and the quote, "There's nothing in the rulebook that says a boy can't wear a girl's uniform." Except for the fact that, of course, it is not the standard girl's uniform. It is the most over-the-top, god-awful Lolita thing you've ever seen. So yeah, they are very, very full of themselves, and he is definitely a boy in girls' clothing. So and he doesn't care what you think of that. So his story is that he is desperate to achieve the power offered by the Academy, and he will sabotage anyone to achieve his goals. I don't know what his goals are yet, but he has a type. He has a personality type for sure. His stats are, he's got a +2 in metal, so he's all about control, calculation, and reflection. He has a, whoops, that's supposed to be a +1 in fire and a +1 in water. He's got a 0 in earth because he's not terribly cautious or present sometimes. And he has a -1 in wood because patience is not a virtue. Let's see here. As far as moves go, so he is the Faust, which means that I have made a bargain with a shadowy figure of great power who has offered aid in the school's duels. I want the supposedly supernatural power of that victory, and I'm willing to fight anyone and do anything to get it. So when I go to my unknown patron for help and I roll, on a hit, they will grant my request. On a 7 to 9, there's a distinct catch or a cost which must be paid beforehand. And on a 6-, they demand that I act counter to my present course. I may not use the move again unless I do so or find some way to make it up to my patron. As a separate benefit, when I would mark an element, I may choose to have the blow land on a beloved or trusting NPC. I also have the move Talent Show, which is you've trained hard to be the best at what you do, and you're going to make sure everyone recognizes it. When you gift an audience with a performance, roll to impress. I gain the following additional options to pick from, which is recruit a cadre to help with my next performance or event, make someone look foolish for challenging me, draw attendance away from someone else's party or performance. And then I also took the last move, squad goals, which is I'm often followed by two sycophants with coordinating outfits who echo my every opinion. Name them and give them short descriptions. In between scenes, I can describe a moment of closeness between myself and my lackeys, and if I do so, I can take one bond with them. However, I have to be careful because if my followers may betray me if I show any lingering weakness or undeniable flaw.
So, do you imagine, were you sent here by your family, or did you receive a mysterious invitation? What was the path that brought you to the academy?
I think I'm gonna lift just a tiny little bit from the seeker, and I think I'm gonna say that my sister actually went to the academy and like graduated. So I'm
Hmm.
a little bit of a legacy, and like I have to follow in her footsteps. So I have a lot to live up to.
And uh, this bargain that you made, do you imagine that you actually fought a duel and then made this bargain, or did you just see the duels and then someone, made this bargain with you?
I think that I fought a duel and lost terribly, and that someone like was like, "Hey kid, you want some power?"
And we'll decide who you fought against, but probably you had no idea what was going on when you engaged in that.
Probably
Um,
Brandon.
oh yeah. And so the literature club, do they do like an annual, that kind of thing? Okay.
Yeah, like poetry recitations and dramatic monologues, that kind of thing. Like not quite full theater status, but like enough. There is enough of a performance element there that we can still draw a crowd.
You're the ones who write the plays that the theater club puts on, that kind of thing.
Mhm.
All right. I think that gives me enough before we head into entanglements, which brings us to, you have a name,
I do.
Patrick. What is your character's name?
So I'm playing Johnny Wynn because why not? Let's just go all the way. He, him, and the playbook I chose was the dropout with the game breaker type. So the suit and card I went with was the Prince of Nothing. I have a picture down there towards the bottom. And it's still very vague idea on his story, but I think I was hearing like we're all sort of part of the freshman class.
But probably a younger class. You maybe been here for a little while.
I think Johnny is actually like was the freshman class last year, is a year older than everybody else, and is one of the few surviving members of that class. Nobody talks about it. He spent months in a coma. When he woke up and found that he still couldn't leave this place, but had to take like first year classes all over again. So I'm in classes with a lot of their classes with them. Um,
Do you have any memory of what happened, or is that still
um,
like vague?
I think it's jumbled. He's got like memories of the other students and starting the year, and things started to get weird in the duels, and then there's just lots of like fragmented images of screaming and blood and fire and all sorts of disastrous type things.
Uh,
Just normal school year stuff.
I like that. So certainly, flashbacks will be a thing we can hit you with as costs. Okay, okay.
So let's see, stats. Is supremely ungood at wood and not great at earth. Like solidity, caution, patience. These are not his attributes. Fire and metal, and then water as the highest one, as he's just I see is very adaptable to different threats and problems because he's had some weird nonsense thrown at him. Um, Element is metal, just for the like super hard, sharp edged side to him. And a weapon, while he had a dueling weapon last year, like everyone has their fancy dueling weapons, he doesn't, won't, can't touch it anymore. And now
What
his
what
weapon
what
is,
was it?
I'm not sure. Probably maybe like a sword, like
Okay.
a saber sort of thing. Um, but now his weapon is just him. He pricks his finger, and the blood starts to flow around his fists, and the more cuts and bruises and blows he takes in a fight, the more his blood flows, and the faster and stronger he seems to get. Let's see. My moves are Game Breaker. The Academy broke you, and you're going to break it back. The rage burning within you cannot be sated by anything less than the Academy's destruction. Even if you know that your rebellion will lead to your doom, you want to bring as much of the Academy down with you as you can. So when you sabotage an institution, activity, or event of the Academy, roll. And on a hit, I can bring it to a halt or force its closure. And then there's some consequences to fall out from that.
The consequences.
That's right. Who even cares about that?
Exactly.
The important part is the fire. And then I haven't picked a second move, but my first move is Secret Passages. I've explored the entire school enough to have discovered some of its lingering mysteries. Once per session, I can declare a secret passageway to a location of my choosing, mysteriously exit a seemingly locked location, or suddenly appear somewhere you shouldn't have been able to.
What don't you remember about your life before the Academy?
I think like I don't remember where I came from. Like
Okay.
I think I have memories of like home and family, but no context around it, like where it is. I can't remember what school I went to before here, or like how or why I applied to be here. I
Do
just
you
know that every time I try and leave, something stops me in the school or events or something like that.
is your sense that you were mysteriously invited here, that you applied for here, that you were sent here? What do you think?
I think I applied. I think I remember like desperately trying to get in here. This was my big life's goal.
Excellent. All right. I think that's more than enough for us to base some entanglements on. So what we're going to do now is swing back around to Sherry. We're going to look. We've got a romantic entanglement, and again, romantic can be, a strong affection, crushes, that kind of thing. Just desperate desire to impress. Unrequited, uncertain. Why do you feel this way? Why my heart beats so fast? Kind of thing. And general is our general. So, which of those would you like to start with? Keeping in mind that we would like to have one of the PCs in at least one of those two entanglements.
Let's see here. So my problem is I'm trying to figure out which of the two bad boys that Scarlet would be like, that's her heart. It's not that she's in love with them, it's that they act like her heart does, that she kind of tries to stifle. That's what I want. So is it Johnny Wynn or is it Takahiro? I mean, Takahiro has a bat, but it's very hard.
It's a difficult
It's like, which
choice.
flavor of bad? Do you want too bad?
But Johnny is something alchemical. It's just like, which is it? I don't know. So that's my first thing. And then I think that everyone thinks that I should be matched with Brandon. So I wonder if that ties me to Takahiro enough that it should be Johnny Wynn is the one I can't take my eyes off of. But everyone thinks that Brandon and I should be a couple.
Ooh, okay. That's a good romantic. So it's as much as anything, you are torn between those two.
Yes, it would probably be very convenient if Brandon and I were a couple. How shall we say?
I like that. Do you think Brandon has noticed you?
Of course he's noticed me. Has he recognized me? That's an entirely different thing.
Okay. All right. So that gives us our first one of those. Jamie, which entanglement would you like to start with?
Yeah, I'm gonna put I love Brandon, but only know how to express it through attempting to bully them. Of course. Only blank knows of my true feelings. I think I already have an idea for cast with my second one.
Okay.
I kind of like the idea of making it Scarlet just so that Scarlet is completely aware of how I feel about Brandon, but also knows it'd be convenient for her to get together with Brandon. So, just to, how does that sound?
That sounds great.
And I think just to make it worse, like I don't know that you know, right? Like I think I'm
Okay.
super subtle. So.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. Cassian, which would you like to do first?
I think that I kind of love the every person I have ever loved has instead fallen for my best friend. Who wants to be my best friend?
Oh,
Me.
or me. We could be the two
Ooh.
most carefully orchestrated best friends ever.
I kind of love that. It's like, are they actually friends, or was this just like a mutually beneficial relationship, or did
Neither
it
of us
start that
know.
way? Okay, so yeah, Scarlett is going to be my best friend that everyone falls in love with, including my latest crush. Gosh, now I need a name out of thin air. Well, Devil. Okay. I'm just gonna pull a name off of a book here. Let's see. Christopher.
And what is Christopher's like what's the blurb? What's the pitch for Christopher?
Hmm.
Athlete, scholar, outsider, himbo. What do you think?
Oh my God, he's a jock. Like
Okay.
like a beloved himbo jock who himbo with a heart of gold. Yeah,
Okay.
that's
The kind of person who would come to you and ask you for advice on how to approach Scarlet kind of person. Okay.
twist the knife.
Johnny, romantic or general?
I think I'm gonna go romantic and just make things more complicated.
Okay.
That's your job, Patrick.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm here for. So I'm gonna go with I love Takahiro, but he's loyal to my enemy, Brandon.
Yes, I love it.
Because Brandon knows what happened.
Yes,
Ooh.
I'm convinced. I can tell every time I talk to him about it.
So do you think Brandon is one of the few other survivors of that year or was
Oh
older?
yeah.
Okay. Other survivor. But wasn't in a coma or anything like that.
No, and he keeps saying these things that like he doesn't say that he knows anything, but I can tell. I can tell that he knows something, and he's just taunting me by not saying it.
And of course, he's very smart, so he just goes with the next year up class.
Oh, sure. Yeah,
not let back like you.
he got to move forward with things. I'm here with the freshmen again.
Excellent. Let's come back to you, Scarlet. Scarlet, I forgot to ask you this question, but in a duel, what weapon do you fight with?
It appears that she uses two swords.
Okay. Twin swords. Okay. So what about for your general entanglement? And you can include or not include a PC in this one. It's up to you.
Let's see here. Oh yeah, I got them all so wound up in the other one. But oh my gosh, it's too wide open.
By the way, we do have an images tab. I've put some sample potential student council images. There's a folder with some headshot images I've put in the online, but feel free to put in chosen images for any of the NPCs that you come with. Take from that folder or take from other ones.
Let's see here. Oof. One of these I don't understand, so I won't use that.
Well,
And I don't
tell
have
me
a
what that is that you don't understand. That might help.
It goes, I know that X is on the verge of challenging me to a duel, and according to Y, nothing, and then there's nothing.
Okay. I will check and
So-
see if that's a cut and paste or if that's actually a problem with the text.
Okay. So that's a good one because it'll change. So that's a good NPC churner, right? So let's choose another student council person who is on the verge of challenging me to a duel.
Okay.
And then what would make that an entanglement?
That they're friends with somebody you care about, or that dueling them they're more popular than you are. Somebody, I don't know. What do you think?
Let's see here. How about, oof. I like the idea that they're on the verge of challenging me to a duel. But I think that they know something about Johnny.
Okay.
So does that make any sense? So I'm trying to, before that duel goes down, find something out about Johnny from them.
Okay.
Because he's my heart.
All right.
He doesn't
And
know
who
it.
is it that's on the verge of challenging you?
Let's choose someone beautiful. Because only beautiful people can appreciate Johnny. Who is this lovely gentleman in row A, 1C?
I don't know, but he is a good looking guy and he's really lit his picture well too.
I know. It's a pretty awesome nightclub look. Let's see here. So I think he's the student council secretary.
Okay.
Yes.
And name?
Geez, names are hard. Why do we do this?
Even just a first name will do.
Okay, how about Kem is his first name?
I'm sorry?
Kem,
Kem?
Mhm.
Kem?
I guess.
Okay, there we go.
It was just a syllable.
There you go.
Right.
All right. So we'll figure out about them.
I think it's a nickname, by the way.
Okay.
Does that make any sense?
Absolutely. They probably have a longer name, and that's the shortened version. Let us come to Takahiro. What do you want for
Yes.
your general?
Yeah, so for my general, I'm gonna put, I made one up. Let's see, it is, I'm just trying to get through it. Okay, I feel protective of Cass and I angered someone dangerous in doing so. I want to make it a teacher so we can drag a teacher in.
Okay.
I was thinking Her name is Miss Jasper. I got a picture first. That's
Okay.
the important part out of the way. But I wanted to ask, like, Cass, what do you think? What plans does Miss Jasper have for you? And like, are you aware of it? Like, do you know that I'm protecting you?
I think that Miss Jasper is probably plotting to try to obtain the power from the academy by manipulating me. They could even be my, like, you know, my shady, my
Ooh.
unknown patron.
I like that.
I don't know if that means that they're unknown anymore, but I would be totally fine with that.
Cool.
Yeah, like I think what we see on screen is that it's implied that she might be the patron, but we don't know yet, not for certain.
Mm-hmm. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, that's why you tackled it.
Nice. Which brings us to Cassian.
So one note, I want to change Christopher's name. Christopher is now going to be named Rudra,
Okay.
just because, yeah. And then for my general one, my sworn enemy, Johnny, has now become my school assigned roommate, displacing my best friend, whom I need a name for. And
Okay.
I will think
Beautiful.
I will think of a more convincing name, so it's not just like another bland white guy.
Okay. I love it. And then Johnny, what is your general?
I can't ignore the possibility for awkward, sweaty, bloody fight scenes. So, I think that I'm gonna go with Scarlet. Has heard of my reputation as a fighter and has begged me to train her for her fight against Kem.
Okay. Perfect. All right. Let's take 8 or 9 minutes for our break. And then when we come back, we will see where we are. Sound good? Okay. So we return from some kind of fall break that occurred. Some students get to go home. Some students stay on campus. Some students are able to essentially stay at the equivalent of kind of a resort hotel on campus that the parents pay for them to almost have a spa vacation week off. Uh, Johnny, you were not amongst those who were given that spa. You were like some of the others, which I'm going to guess includes Takahiro, who were moved to the sort of, they round up all those sort of leftover students into one of the dorms so they can keep an eye on everybody at once. But the thing that will strike you when this ends is one of the resident assistants, as this vacation is ending, you're grabbing your stuff to go back to your rooms, and one of the resident assistants pulls you over, Johnny, and says, "Young Master Win,
What?
your housing has been reassigned,"
What?
and hands you a letter with the seal of the academy that when you open it up, it's reassigned you to a room in the, like, you didn't even think they were using it, the 5th dorm.
What is this bullshit?
The RA says, "Well, you can take it up with the administration. I am merely the bearer of such news, Mr. Wynn."
Crumples up the letter and throws it in his face. You bet I'll take it up with the administration.
And did we see you storm off, I assume?
Yeah.
Scarlett, what is your reaction? Where did you go away? Were you at the spa when you come back from this break?
Ooh. I like the idea that the student council took a trip together. And it was sort of a strange tour of what must have been a major city in Europe, but she doesn't know which one it was. No one told them anything, and so she just acted like she knew what was going on. None of the other student council members said anything either, and then they've returned back a little bit early.
And it would have been the student council plus the various class vice presidents and presidents from each of the years, and this weird feeling like you were being sized up.
All right.
There are a few other students who were there, but you would be brought to this European city. They wouldn't take you out anywhere, but they would bring you in, and they would bring in a lecturer to talk about some obscure topic and do a seminar, and then they would go away and food would be brought. It was very strange. You don't have like very strong memories of the flight or anything. But when you return back, one of the sort of administrative persons comes to you and says, "President Albescu,
Yes.
I have been instructed to tell you that your room has been moved to a new dorm to give you more space and privacy.
Thank you.
Here is the information you will require."
Much appreciated, Administrator.
And you'll open it up, and yes, it's the 5th dorm, which they don't use for just anybody. Like, you didn't even realize it was opened.
Oh, must be very exclusive.
It's the smallest of the dorms and certainly the oldest.
Ooh.
It has a kind of a Rococo look to the ornamentation on it. And it's clearly noted that they've already moved your things over.
Rococo. So it's not a very old dorm. It's just.
Yes, it's beautifully decorated.
Yes. All right.
Takahiro, you're in detention, I assume, when we come to you.
Of course. Yeah.
And the person who is managing the detention comes over and says, "Santos,
Yep. And I'm like scratching my name into the desk with a knife that I shouldn't have.
Hey, hey, hey!
What?
Snatches away the knife. You undoubtedly have another one, but puts this piece of paper, lays it down in front of you, and says, "You've been assigned a new dormitory."
Oh, well, finally, they're going to acknowledge how great I am.
No, I assume it's a way they can keep an eye on reprobates like yourself.
Hey, I'm a very good monkey.
And gets frustrated with your reaction, and steams off. See them getting a little bit angry. And are you alone in detention, or are there other students there in detention?
I have a group who follows me and tries to be as delinquenty as I am, but I don't know what to do with them. So I stand up and I give them a look. I'm headed out.
Oh, they stand up. They've tried to emulate your dress, but they can't bring themselves to entirely throw off the uniform. So they've just kind of made a few changes on things, and their pocket handkerchief is out of like line, a different color and stuff. And they look at the teacher like the teacher's going to say something to them, and the teacher says, "Well, you're not actually in detention. You can just go. You need to sit down, Mr. Santos. You still have 30 minutes."
Fine. And I pull out when the camera pans up to my teeth, I have another knife in between my teeth.
Absolutely. Cass, did you stay on campus? Did you go away? What was your break like?
Oh, I went home to visit mother and father.
Huh. And do you have siblings?
Yes, I have an older sister
Older
who's
sister.
already graduated the academy.
And is she at college? Was she there when you went to visit?
No, she wasn't there. I miss her dearly. She's still at her university.
And your parents, good family life, tight, effusive, or more a little bit cold and distant?
Oh, very cold and distant.
Okay. We see the shot of the absurdly long table with them, and they're not even like sitting next to each other. They're seated well apart, and then you're down at one end. We see only silhouettes of the servants coming in to bring the food to you. And then we cut back to the campus, and you will be waved down by Miss Jasper. Cass.
Miss Jasper, yes, hello.
Hello. How was your break?
It was so very nice to be home.
It is. I'm glad that you think of this place as home. That's the feeling we want students to have, that they could stay here forever. That's what I want. It's so good to see you. I have, well, I'm in some ways the bearer of bad news.
Miss Jasper, I doubt anything that you could tell me would do anything to dissuade my mood from the joy I have at returning.
Well, we'll see about that. There was apparently a shuffle in the administration. I don't know if it was a set of errors or so on, but you have been reassigned housing.
Oh, well, surely Manhattan and I can be comfortable anywhere.
Manhattan has not been reassigned.
I'm sorry?
I'm sure this is merely a bureaucratic snafu, and I will have the situation dealt with as quickly as I can. But in the meantime, and she'll hand you a card, you've been assigned to the renovated 5th dormitory. And a roommate has been assigned to you. I'm uncertain who that is, but your things have already been taken over there. I am going to see what I can do to remedy this situation. So don't you worry. I'm sure we'll have you back at your old dorm in no time.
Cass tries to look really gracious, like, thank you, Miss Jasper, and then turns away and their face just falls into like an angry scowl and is like, well, who's going to be my new roommate?
So, Johnny, what is, besides, we know it's a Rococo, we know it's the oldest and the smallest of the dorms. What is another feature of the dorm that you notice when you arrive there?
I think it's got these like weirdly oppressive ceilings, like they're all carved and dark, and it has all these features that are like sort of coming down in very decorative spikes from the ceiling.
It's oddly pointy and sharp. That kind of, and it's not done in the wood that you would expect, like if they were doing rafters or things, that it
Mhm.
would do that. No, it's actually plaster and carving and like very carefully crafted Rococo stalagmites coming down. So you will arrive and you will notice that there's no resident assistance here. There's like a buzzer.
At
It
least
looks,
that's something.
yeah, there's very basic facilities here, but you go up to your room and you go and look, and you can see that most of the rooms seem to be singles, but you've been put in a double.
What? What?
Yeah,
Why?
looks like you're sharing a room, and whoever is sharing the room with you is very frilly.
I mean, that's a ridiculous amount of luggage.
What is your luggage like? Like when cut, we see the ridiculous amount, and then we look over on the other side. What do you have?
There's just like one long featureless black duffel bag.
Cass, you arrive at this place. What's another detail of this place with these strange ceilings and the Rococo decoration? Ooh,
If you look too closely at, so everything within your direct line of sight is spotless,
mhm.
but if you happen to like peek down a hallway, like it looks like an abandoned building.
Yeah,
So everything's like brand new, except then there's like a disaster zone.
yeah. Like you like turn a hallway. Like, okay, where's this go down to? And it's like they haven't done any renovations on part of this. Um, you kind of start to step on the floor there, and you're a little nervous. Kind of turn yourself around, walk down, and you can hear noise in the room. Clearly, your roommate has already arrived. And you open the door. You see all of your things have been very carefully arranged there for you. And then there's Johnny.
Johnny, I think, just like looks up, sort of surprised at the doorway, turns around, just a moment of silence, and then just no.
Very similarly, like Cass has opened the door, is standing in the doorway, sees Johnny, hears the word no, steps back out and closes the door.
He like door slams open a minute later, and he sort of follows angrily. No, this is not. No, you have the wrong room, right?
I have the wrong room. You have the wrong room.
What? No, I just got assigned to this dump this morning. What are you doing here?
I was also assigned to this dorm, and I assure you that this must be some sort of administrative mistake. There is no possible way I could be expected to share a room with you.
I should have known that mountain of lace and purple was you. It had your stink all over it.
Oh, yes, at least that is what clean smells like, Johnny. I'm sorry to have disillusioned you.
There's a difference between dark and dirty.
Tomato, tomato.
Scarlet, you've arrived. and you hear arguing upstairs in a couple of voices that you certainly know well.
Ooh, I am intrigued. Yes, she will go. Uh, she will go up the stairway as quietly as possible. Of course, her luggage has already been taken over here, and so she's actually standing on the landing, kind of watching this argument go on. She waits for a pause.
There's probably a fuming pause there
Mhm.
in the midst of this.
And she'll go, "Oh, Cass, I'm so glad you're here too."
Scarlet, you will not believe the injustices that I have had perpetrated upon me in the last 5 minutes.
Oh, if there's anyone that can handle a good injustice, it's you, Cass. I mean, so long as you have enough closet space.
Well, as soon as I am back in a single, I will definitely have the closet space. Glares at Johnny.
Wait, is this a freshman dorm?
Does appear to be.
No, 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 no. He like turns to go look for the RA that isn't there, turns back in frustration.
Yeah, and I think what Scarlett has been watching Johnny the whole time. When he turns back, she sort of changes her glance so that she's not. Well, Cass, why don't you come and help me get set up, and then I'll come over and help get all set up. It'll be fun. Grabs Cass's hands.
It's like, says, of course, and hopefully by the time we return, they'll have taken out the trash.
Oh,
And Johnny will just turn and stalk off to go find someone official to yell at.
what is Scarlet? You're single. All of these rooms have big, beautiful beds.
No.
Weirdly, almost too large to actually get out of the room or into the room. But
Like they were built in the room?
yeah, almost. What is another thing you notice about the dorm here?
Oh, let's see here. I think. Oh, there are dumb waiters in each of the rooms.
Ooh. Big enough for someone to get into, I assume.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Absolutely, and just weird. Like, where do they go down to? If all the rooms have dumb waiters, is there like a dumb waiter basement? That's very strange. Because when you go and look for a door to the basement, you don't find one. Takahiro, you've been dismissed from detention, allowed to go out. Your hangers on kind of follow you until they realize that they have homework to do, and then they drift off to go do their homework. But they do it with a real nonchalance, you know. And Takahiro, you are heading over to this new dorm, and you see Johnny come storming out the front door of it.
Ooh. Yeah, so I look over at Johnny and I give that sort of like chin up, kind of like kind of guttural sound towards Johnny's direction. Like, hey.
What? Hey, wait, are you here? This is a freshman dorm.
Oh, hey, are you gonna be in the new dorm too? That's super great.
Yeah, it's super great. It's looking like it's gonna be so.
I like throw an arm around like your shoulder and I pull you close. Yeah, hey, so special dorm, special people.
Sorry, I froze up there for a second.
Oh, I just said special dorm, special people while I'm pulling you close.
Yeah, it's fine or whatever. If I can just get out of this stupid room with Cass. They put me in a room with Cass. Cass, can you believe it? Cass.
Oh yeah, Cass is really cool. Yeah, he's great.
What? Yeah, I'm maybe acts different around you.
Oh, so you're together. Can you please Johnny, I'd really take this as like a personal favor if you could look out for Cass for me. Like, I'm just a little worried about him.
Well, we are not together. No, no, we're going to be living very separately in separate dorms, or maybe even like separate sides of the academy.
Oh, you're not gonna stay with us? That would kind of suck.
Well, I mean, I'm going to talk about the situation. I mean, there's got to be like another room on that floor, right? There's so many empty rooms. Why do I have to be in a room with Cass?
Boy,
Well,
if Takahiro, who you really love, is asking you to do a personal favor, Johnny, are you feeling conflicted about that?
Yes. Well, I mean, there's like his arms around his shoulders are very. Have you seen his shoulders?
Very nice.
they're very
And it's
large.
yeah.
Do you want to roll inner conflict?
um. Yeah, I think maybe metal.
Okay.
This is very much trying to get a control on emotions he was very willing to let spin out of control.
Absolutely. Let's have you roll.
Is there a... There it is. Should have done this already. All right, there we go. 10 plus 1 is 11.
Look, you keep yourself together. I should mention for this, by the way, the 7 to 9 on inner conflict has flee the scene, mark an element to keep yourself steady, but you can also overreact awkwardly and embarrass yourself. That is the additional option here.
Nice.
But you keep yourself together. So what do you say?
You know what? This is a brand new dorm. It's all recently renovated, and I guess we'll have the whole floor to ourselves. Maybe if I can just find someone to talk to about getting a private room, it won't be so terrible.
Yeah, and you can always hang out with me if you like.
Yeah, that'd be... Yeah, I just need to go find someone.
Sure. I'll see you back there.
And there's this like awkward like, are we gonna hug before we let go? Or no, it's okay, cool. Yeah, I'll go.
We cut to Cass and Scarlet, like setting up your room. Scarlet, what is your style of decoration, Scarlet, for your kind of room?
Strangely, it's like everything that she pulls out of her trunk already goes with the room. It's her style is very opulent and sort of old European, like old Eastern European in some ways. So there's like lots of what do you say, very ornate, but like simple lines, but like everything has got like little carvings and stuff in it, in the like candle sticks and things like that. So and she puts out cloths that have been heavily embroidered, but they like look really good with the Rococo for some reason. It's just sort of strange.
And Cass, what's an object, book, something that you see here amongst Scarlett's collection, things that she has that maybe you didn't expect to see, like something that seems a little bit out of place for you?
I think that there is like a small like toy robot, like maybe like 3 inches tall. Like it's like one of those things that like comes out of like an arcade game.
Mm-hmm.
And it just does not match like the style of anything at all, but it's like got this like special place of prominence on the desk next to the computer.
Yes. Johnny won that, and then he left it behind, but she doesn't tell anyone that.
Scarlett, as you're putting things away, you will note that underneath the pillow is an envelope. Beautiful, beautiful paper, beautiful stationery, lightly perfumed, has your name written in a beautiful hand. And when you kind of open the envelope, you will see that card. That card of crowns that has your image worked into it.
And Cass is standing there, and she sort of opened it. She looks at it, and she kind of looks at Cass. And then she goes, "Oh, what a lovely souvenir." And she'll go over to her mirror, and she'll tuck it into the frame of the mirror.
Absolutely. And one of the things that strikes you is that the crown is one of those motifs that's worked into a lot of the decoration around in different places on the campus. Cass, how are you dealing with this now? If you've helped Scarlett get through this, how are you feeling about this, especially when you hear footsteps coming up?
I think that I've taken a moment to calm down. I think that such a reaction was entirely unbecoming of the literature club class president. And I know that I'll be able to work through this, and I'm sure that Johnny and I will be able to come to some sort of agreeable arrangement, and everything will be fine.
You're always the most gracious.
I know, right?
And Takahiro, you hear voices, and you, of course, recognize both of these voices speaking in one of the rooms, and it is definitely Cass and Scarlett.
Yeah, so I come over, I pull out the bat, and I'm like doing that annoying thing where you drag the bat across the wall, like, and just hitting every single thing on the way there. And when I come closer, like, hey, so we're all together for yeah, because we're cool. That's nice. Where's the food? I'm starving.
I think Scarlett stops and says, "Well, we have dumb waiters."
Waiters? I don't see anybody. And he's like looking around for a person.
I think Scarlett can't help but giggle. And then she'll kind of go, no, a dumb waiter, see? And she'll pull you over to look at it. In theory, they can send up food from here, but I don't see a kitchen.
Oh, but if we just go in, it'll bring us to the kitchen, right? Isn't that? I'll just go in and check it out. And like Tucker, you is already like climbing into the dumb waiter.
There's a moment where like I'm assuming that Scarlett as well as Cass like reach out, like grab each grab like an oversized shoulder and like pull him back.
Whoa.
It's like, no, that's not safe. That's not safe.
Oh, so should I just, hello, kitchen, hello, hungry, hello?
Let's try this. And like Cass pulls like a piece of parchment and like a pen off the desk and writes like scribbles something onto like the piece of paper, and it says like 3 milkshakes, and like puts the note in the dumbwaiter and then presses the button.
Wait, I need meat, please, I'm starving.
The doors close and you can hear it go down.
I guess a meat milkshake's okay.
And I think a few minutes later, you'll hear a ding, and the sound of the dumbwaiter coming back up, and kind of opens, and there are 3 milkshakes there. It's chocolate, strawberry, and vanilla.
And Takahiro grabs the chocolate one, thinking it's the meat one.
Jess grabs the strawberry because it's the pinkest one.
And I was going for the vanilla anyway. So
That makes sense. Let me cut to Johnny and see what Johnny is up to right now.
I'm trying to find, someone I could yell at about this, administration or like a vice principal or at least a head of the RA, someone, anyone.
I think you go to one of the offices that you've usually gone to address these kinds of issues, and you open it up, and there's the desk and the counters and things like that, and you'll see a figure lounging, feet up on the desk, sun kind of coming in, their shirts slightly unbuttoned, kind of sunning themselves, and you will see Brandon. Johnny.
What? No, I'm looking for someone important. What are you doing here?
Oh, from time to time, I help out with administrative things when they're shorthanded. It's part of the duties of the student council.
Oh, no, someone else. Who else is here?
It's just me. Can I help you with something?
My room.
Your room. I had heard that there was some sort of change of housing.
Yes, apparently they decided that certain students were more deserving of the brand new renovated rooms. The really nice ones.
Yes, the fifth dorm.
Yeah, so I just need one of the other rooms opened up.
That's unfortunate. I was just looking at the papers, and it looks like all the other rooms are already spoken for, including the ones in there. Students will be arriving later.
No, but you see, I'm in bunking with a freshman.
Well, technically.
Technically what, Brandon?
Well, technically you are a freshman, given that you didn't complete any of the courses from last year.
Oh, and you did? You didn't take any more classes than I did.
Didn't I? What courses did you take last year? I've slipped my mind.
That's not why I'm here.
Oh, you've already said why you're here. And I've already answered.
Yeah, I'm gonna go find someone who actually matters. Turn around, storm out, slam door behind.
Good luck. And you'll head out.
I think there's like this sort of moment in the hallway before he like punches a poster on the wall.
And there's that gasp that you see some students like see you do that, and you and Takahiro are two of the scary students, and they kind of turn and move away from there. Who is an older student or a member of a student council or another older class president who maybe you actually have some respect for?
Let's see. We have some more images, right?
Oh, yeah.
I like Wani there. She looks fun.
Yeah, and we can grab her and drop her over in the NPCs. Yeah. Do you have a name?
I don't know.
Okay. Let me give you a name because I do have a list here. Adoma. And she will say, Johnny, are you all right? I heard a crashing sound from the hall.
Oh, yeah, it's fine. I think Brandon's just being incompetent again.
You really have to have more respect for your sensei. Your senpai, rather.
Do I now?
I know it's tough given what you went through and being sick for so long,
Look,
but
that's fine. No, look, you're an upperclassman. You know people. You have connections, right?
I'm an upperclassman. I don't know if I have connections. What's going on?
Look, I need to know who to talk to about housing. There's like a problem with my room.
What's the problem with your room? Was it damaged over break?
It's got an unfortunate infestation.
Maybe you can talk to janitorial services or physical plant.
Don't you think it would be easier to just find a different room? I mean, everyone's still settling back in from the break. Nothing's certain yet, right?
I don't know. You have to talk to the administration. I think they're all getting ready for the rest of the semester. Plus, the chairman is returning, so they're preparing for the reception tomorrow night.
None of them are gonna. What is Brandon even doing in the office, anyways?
Student council, part of their responsibilities is helping out with the administration.
Council. Look, fine. I guess I'll deal with it tomorrow when everybody's not so busy with the. God, this stupid place.
If you just fit in, just try to fit in, everything would be better for you.
I fit in fine where I was. I had my own room. The hallway was mostly empty. It was nice. It was peaceful.
Oh, so did they reassign you to a new room?
Yeah, I got put up on the 5th floor.
And do you say the
What?
fifth dorm, rather?
Or the 5th dorm.
And she'll like there's this. I thought they weren't going to use the fifth dorm anymore.
What? Wait, what do you know about it?
I should be going. I have some homework, and she moves to go and
What?
and
No.
escape.
Adoma, no, wait.
You want to try and stop her?
Yeah. Go like grab her by the sleeve, as not her arm, but like the sleeve as she's turning away.
I think this is a study move, with some possible consequences on a fail.
Nice.
What do you want to roll that with to kind of like get this info out of her?
I think this seems like fire. Johnny is real hot right now.
Okay.
8 + 1 is 9.
So your question is, what has she heard about it?
Yeah, what does she know about the 5th dorm?
She goes, I heard that it's haunted.
Come on, haunted?
Yeah, no. It was closed for the last couple of years. I heard when I was a freshman, I heard that something happened there. And they closed the dorm and they moved the students to other places, but that no one goes in there anymore.
Where'd you hear that from?
A friend of a friend. She names names, like clearly that obscure line of people going back.
Huh.
I've heard that like they have like landline phones there, and sometimes when you pick them up, you can hear voices.
Stories that go around this stupid place. Look, I'm
Well,
way
you
more
asked me.
Look, fine, whatever. I'm just way more concerned about the living inhabitants than the dead right now.
Well, I should go.
Bye.
Bye. Cass, we cut back to you. Now you know that Takahiro is also in the dorm. Are you ready to put your room together? Because you do have the advantage that Johnny is not here right now. You muted.
Yes, in fact, this is the perfect opportunity.
Oh, got it. You're good.
This is the perfect opportunity to move right in and make myself at home, because, you know, if I've already unpacked everything and they really don't want to room with me, they can always move because they haven't unpacked anything yet. I think this is also a great time to introduce my lackeys
Okay.
for my squad goals move, which their names are Christy and Agatha. So, yeah.
Hello, they say in sequences, their heads pop in the door frame. Cass, we heard.
It's
This is a
yes,
tragedy.
it is true.
A travesty of justice.
It is okay. I've been placed here to guide the other freshmen with style and grace as we continue on into our winter semester.
Is that Takahiro? Takahiro isn't living here, is he?
Yes, I did see that Takahiro is indeed here. Perhaps I can mellow him out, knock a little bit of that delinquentness out of him.
I think at that moment you hear Takahiro in the background, "Rah! Goddamn bed fit through the door!" Rah! Like just making horrible noises.
Cass just like stands. It's like that anime thing where it's like Cass just stands there and like the sound is like in the background.
Yeah. They say we'll help you. What can we do? We can clean. We can repaint the walls. What would you like us to do?
Yeah, and so Cass just like points a finger and is just like, Christy, you take the frills on the left-hand side. Agatha, frills all over the right. I'll take center stage.
And just very, very carefully begin to lay out what is the, like, when the camera pulls back and we see like the sparkles of that side of the room, what do we see?
I think that somehow, like, despite the fact that that giant bed was not a 4-poster bed, it's suddenly a 4-poster bed. And there are just like giant stuffed animals everywhere. And there's like a very like dainty tea set like on the shared table in the middle, and like with like a 3-tier like tea service full of cake.
Okay, cookies.
I had it in my suitcase.
Yeah, they're pouring tea for you already. You said something, and you will find, much as Scarlett did, under your pillow is another one of these envelopes, in and maybe not as beautiful hand, but still a strong, and it contains that card.
So I pull the card out and kind of like look at it, and I'm sure that like Christy and Agatha are popping in around the corner, and I say, well, it's decidedly a good likeness. And it pans down and it shows like the Cass lolling back with like a giant scythe in their hands, and it looks very ominous, but it says could do with a bit more pastel. But
what does it mean? What does it mean? Do you know?
I'm sure it's just fan art from a secret admirer.
You don't think it's Johnny? Johnny could never do that. No.
No. This obviously took the refined hand of someone who poured much time and effort into capturing my visage lovely.
Oh. Maybe it was Rudra.
That's the first like flash of like blush crosses Cass's cheeks, and like, do you think so?
Could be. Rudra draws. It's very good.
Well, it doesn't seem to be signed, so I shall, and walks over, and like there's like a photo of like you see like a photo of Cass like hanging on to like his older sister, and he places the card like right next to like leaning against the frame.
Nice. And you will get your area. I imagine there's both the sight, the look, the smell, all kind of filling the room and filling the hallway. The camera probably does pan over at least once to the sort of bare bed frame and the black duffel bag. Takahiro, you've had your non-meat milkshake. Cass
Oh
is
no, it was perfect meat. I could not tell it wasn't meat.
yeah. But Cass has had her friends, his friends, show up, and they've been engaged in getting their room decorated. What are you up to?
Yeah, I've been trying to move out the bed, except the beds take up most of the room because I want to replace it with the futon. So the bed's not looking great. And I'm trying to move stuff around, and
It's
I'm going to the
very
dumbwaiter, and I'm
heavy,
like,
very heavy furniture.
and I'm like, I go to the dumbwaiter, can I like ask someone to come up here and break down the bed? And like I'm trying to like figure out, I'm trying to look for paper to do that.
I assume that you will do that, but probably actually the first thing you'll notice is as you've like turned the bed and tried to get it, and it's probably still kind of partially jammed in the doorway. You will see an envelope with sort of block printing on it that has your name on it. Clearly must have been like under the covers or the duvet or duvet, however you say that. What do you do?
First, I immediately blush deeply, and I say to myself, Brandon. Before, with shaking fingers, I like open up the envelope to see.
Who could ever have painted this card? I mean, it's clearly you, but not quite, right?
I look at it, and I look at the boobs on the card, and I look down at my chest, and I look back at the card, and I'm like, is this like, I think Takahiro just sort of like hung for a moment, unable to make sense.
I think that's a good point to have maybe Scarlett peek in, because you've heard the long, like drawn out, oh.
Takahiro, how are you
Do
settling
you think
in?
I'd look good with boobs?
She sort of stops because she's been crawling across the bed that you put in the doorway. Sort of stops. And I think she goes, almost certainly, yeah.
Oh, should I? Do you think Brandon? I mean, yeah.
Takahiro, you can be anyone you want.
Yeah. I mean, if people want boobs, I guess. Yeah. And Takira just like shows the card towards you.
Ooh, that's beautiful. I got one too. And she'll take it like over to the window to look at it. And she goes, oh, look at this artwork. Do you know anyone who draws this one?
I didn't notice people draw. And like I have to point out, there's like an art class I think we're both in. Like Takahira's never shown up.
Oh yes. Maybe if you came to art class, you could meet one of them that does. Maybe you could find who drew this.
Oh, is Brandon in the class?
Well, he stops in regularly.
Right. You know, not that I had a reason to ask. I mean,
I've heard a rumor that he's going to pose for us.
Oh. I should show up at the class. Yeah.
And she'll go, where do you want to keep this? But she's already tucked it into the mirror on the frame.
And like for a moment, Takahira's like trying to copy the pose in the mirror and then like moving his hands to like create these big boobs in front of him, like trying to imagine.
It is striking how much it looks like your face.
Right, face. Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
So what are you doing here exactly? It's just sort of looking back at the bed.
Oh, this bed is too big. It'll throw at my back. I just need like a futon on the floor. This is too much.
Hmm. Perhaps if you turn the frame on its side, we could push it up against the wall. It would be sort of like a headboard.
Oh, right. Okay. And he doesn't understand, obviously. He just starts pushing the bed towards the other side and not following instructions well.
All right. She will attempt to assist you with that, but at a certain point she'll go, maybe I'll see if we can get some staff in here to do that, okay?
And I think all three of you who are actually in the dorm at this moment, and maybe even Johnny, who is approaching the dorm, will hear this ringing of a gong, like a clock. I mean, it has struck 6, but it doesn't do 6 chimes. And Johnny, when you kind of come in as that reverberation is dying out, you'll see that in the what would pass for kind of a nice sized dining room, you'll see that the table is set.
Well, at least maybe the food's good.
And Cass, Takahiro, and Scarlett kind of wander and come down, and you'll see Johnny has returned. And there is this table, which has been set with a beautiful meal, several plates, and has been.
Johnny has chosen whatever the largest and/or fanciest chair is.
What is being served, Cass? What is dinner tonight?
Oh, it is what's it called? We're just going to pick something that sounds fancy then. It's beef bourguignon.
Okay.
With there's they've even like got like bottles of what seems to be wine, but is fruit juice or something like that, and like it's done very elaborately and everything like that. So
the sour cream off to the side, parsley to put on it, all the decorations, everything is laid
10
out.
pieces of silverware.
Absolutely. You're like, it seems like an absurd number of things, but I assume both you and Scarlett know what each of those is used for. Takahiro, what's your reaction to this spread?
Oh, finally! I've been starving. That meat milkshake barely tided me over. Like I start sitting and shoving food into my face.
Meat milkshake?
Yeah, it's good. It's really good. Good meat milkshake.
Johnny looks up at the other two like, what?
I think Scarlet mouths chocolate.
And you'll have a lovely meal. Then you'll hear the house phone ring. Kind of look around like it's a real ring. And there's an old style rotary phone off on the sideboard.
Jess gets up to go answer it and says,
So does Scarlet at the same moment.
we like lay our hands on the receiver at the same time.
Look.
I think that Cass probably is the first one to pull back. It's like, of course, class president.
And she'll pick up the phone. Hello?
Miss Albescu?
That's who's speaking.
Yes. Tomorrow evening, there is to be a reception for the return of the chairman, all of the class presidents, as well as all of the club presidents are expected to attend. Formal dress is required.
All right.
You are permitted to bring the +1 if you wish.
And she stops and says, "And where is this?"
It is in the chairman's hall, which is
Mm.
usually kind of off limits.
Very well. Thank you. And she'll take the phone because it's one of those big old receivers. She actually does both hands, sets it down very gently so that it goes down quiet, like silent. And she sort of turns to Cass and says, "We've been invited to a formal reception for the chairman. Formal dress. You may bring a +1."
There's this moment where like there's this whole like face journey happening while you say this. It's like, nope, stop Siri. Oh. There's this whole face journey that's happening where it's like joy, elation, and then like you mentioned like formal dress and like stars in their eyes, and then like +1 is like, uh-oh. There's this moment like turns back and looks at like Johnny and Takahiro and it's like, mm.
And Takahiri's grinning while like food's coming out of his mouth. Yeah, party. I could totally go. That sounds good. Wow, the food's gonna be great. Yeah, I have a bow tie just for my bat. It'll be fantastic.
And she stops and she says, "Do you have a tuxedo, Takahiro?"
Oh, yeah, yeah. And like he rushes over, but he can't find the shirt, so it's just the bow tie around the neck and the tails. I'll look for the rest. Yeah, yeah. And it's like obviously he stole this from someone else.
And I think Scarlett will turn to Johnny and say, "Do you have a tuxedo, Johnny?"
I have something black. That's close enough, right?
No.
Yeah, you can be Cass's date, and I'll be Scarlett's date.
What? Wait, what?
And I give you this like puppy eye face, like, please, come on, it'll be fun.
Yeah, sure. It's perfectly fine, Johnny. I understand that you would probably not want to attend such an evening as the one that we will be attending. There's plenty of people that you probably don't want to talk to, talking about things that you don't want to talk about, dressed in entirely too uncomfortable clothes for you.
So what? You think I couldn't fit in there?
I'm just saying that you should prioritize your own comfort over, any sort of obligation you may have to attend such an engagement as this.
I've been to these parties before.
Then would you go again? She tries to keep the hopeful tone out of her voice.
Cass shoots Scarlet like an angry, like over the shoulder, like, stop. This is not what I'm trying to do.
Yes, I think to avoid our poor cast making any mistakes in a situation they're not entirely comfortable with, I can go along as a coach to help guide you through the rough parts.
That's
Oh,
very
yeah.
considerate. Yes.
Yeah, Johnny can totally help out. That sounds great. Like Takahiro is like missing all of this. It's just flying over his head.
And I think we cut away from that scene, maybe even a pull back a little bit, and we cut to a scene, a table, figures seated around it, and they're in silhouette. And we see one of the figures is, dealing out cards, and then kind of lifts one up and looks at it and says, "The duel known as the Hanged Man will be next." And that's where we're going to leave off for next time. Sound okay?
Yeah.
Everybody can mark 2 points of XP, and we'll talk about highlighting and all of that at the start of the next session.
So on our sheet, everyone started with 4 XP. Is that
Yes, they
stands?
did.
Oh,
Yes,
yay,
because I
yay.
accidentally did that. I'm not going to take away.
You're the best mistake maker ever.
Shall we do a quick stars and wishes? Wishes like things you definitely want to see next time. And stars, anything you want to point to? Does that sound okay? Sherry.
I love all these characters so much. Wow, it's beautiful, and I love the whole idea of Scarlett's heart being Johnny Wynn, and what that means is as the school year goes on. So it's just she's so furious. So good. Yeah, great setup. Best entanglements. It will be grand. I am looking forward to every moment of this. And of course, your play. You guys, you know you're the best. So,
Anything you would point to, like, I definitely want to see this next time. This is a scene I want, or an element I want, something of that sort.
I'm looking forward to our first duels. However, we're going to work that out. There's 4 of us, so.
Okay. Well, we'll definitely get duels on the table next time.
Mhm.
Okay. Jamie?
Yeah, so big stars too. I also really love the characters. I think my favorite moment was Cass and Johnny having a meltdown in the room. That was really, really good. And then Johnny having a meltdown with Brandon was also really good. Just all the meltdowns are great. And I think in terms of wishes, I'd like an opportunity for Takahiro to scare the shit out of normal people, because I think Takahiro is nice to this group and can get along ish with this group, but it'd be cool to see Brandon out among the other students and seeing how he has a difficult time.
Excellent.
But yeah,
And
that's it for me.
okay. And Daryl?
So major stars to everybody. Like full characters right out the gate. Everyone already has a very, very, very strong idea of who they are. And that has gone off wonderfully. I can't believe my very first like interaction was basically a screaming match with my new roommate. That was fantastic. I love just like how radical, like it does definitely feel like a whole bunch of like different anime characters from different animes have been smooshed together into this continuity. So that's fantastic. As for wishes, I double that I want, or I mean, I seconded that I want to see duels. I also would love to see general club scenes, like see us interact with the student body at large. And then I have this like strong desire I want like the elevator scene where like I'm in an elevator and we're having an oblique conversation about something.
Okay.
And that could be with like another character, or it could be with my mysterious benefactor or whoever that is. Yeah, elevator scene.
Excellent. And Patrick?
I this was so fun. Daryl, thank you for giving me someone really fun to fight with. I promise I will try and find more complexities to Johnny, but it was really fun to just start out with like, no, everything sucks and I hate you all. Um, I loved both Jamie and Sherry, your like different approaches to trying to bring Johnny in and trying to make things like peaceful and normal with Scarlett like just trying too hard in every moment, and Takahiro just affably not getting any of it, and everything's fine and we're having a great time, right? um it's I'm also enjoying the like mystery background, like what's going on, is it haunted, what happened with students, all this. I love the mystery academy nonsense. As for wishes, I definitely think it would be fun to see that party or some sort of function next time where we have to interact with students and teachers in a sort of like formalized group setting. I also definitely want to break into one of the haunted slash destroyed slash mystery rooms here in the fifth dorm.
Absolutely. And this will be the first time you've had access to the chairman's hall. Normally off limits. All right. That's all good stuff. Thank you all so much. I'm so looking forward to these characters. I'm super excited. Yes, of course, there has to be a planetarium or something of the sort there. Maybe an aquarium, like a wraparound aquarium thing. We'll figure it out. Anyway, have a great rest of your day. And I will see all of you next week. Oh,